You didn't know who he was?
Don't worry about it. It's just locker room talk.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Locker Room Talk. My name is Eleni Strong-Forchek, and this is my lovely, extremely normal co-host, Gamer Doc. We are so happy to see you, as always. We actually can't see you because this was filmed last night, but we're just going to pretend that we're physically seeing you.
I can see you.
Well, I can't, but I'm not prescient. So,
I see you, Mike.
Anyway, I hope that you guys have had a lovely week. We sure have had a real interesting week news-wise. So this morning, I think it was this morning, maybe it was last night. Not sure how time passes anymore. Emily Kaplan at ESPN wrote a lovely article about the U.S. women's national soccer teams. Not soccer. We're going to start that over. Definitely not soccer.
Are you sure it's not soccer?
If it was soccer, it would be a better contract, Lindsay.
That's very true. So,
you think Megan Rapinoe is going to take that kind of contract? Please.
Yo, they get post-training meals, though.
Apparently, the major perk of this particular contract is that they are going to be fed after training, which I just think is depressing, I guess is the best word. I'm glad they're getting fed after training. I think it is insane that that has to be negotiated into a contract. And I think it is depressing that after all of the momentum that was created in 2017, that is a win.
Yeah.
Today, like that sucks.
Yeah.
And they also are not getting paid well. They're getting paid fine, but like, I don't know. I guess it just felt like after the negotiations in 2017, we'd be seeing like rolling forward progress. And instead it was kind of like, well, we really don't want to miss any more playing time, which I understand. However, next time you go to the bargaining table, they're going to be like, hey, but last time you said it was cool.
Yeah.
So why are you mad now?
It's also hard because it's a 1-year contract and it included Worlds and the Olympics. And so they got like this deal for 2 of the major events. And I feel like they had more bargaining powder also than they had. So in terms of numbers, the maximum amount of money they can win is $126,000 if they win gold at Beijing and at Worlds. If they win silver, they get $100K at both of those places. One of the things I did like, though, is that they're giving them $1K per kid per month for childcare.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
I do love that.
Yeah.
I will say, to me, that was the thing that I read where I was the most like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
But I just meals. Like, I'm trying to think of it in terms of like, if people I know are making the same amount of money per year as an athlete is getting for winning an Olympic gold medal, that seems
I never thought
wrong
about it that
to
way.
me. Like, I'm not going to say $126,000, $9,000, whatever dollars isn't a lot of money. It is a lot of money. Like, when you're looking at it in the lens of like what the average person in the US makes per year, certainly it's a lot of money. It's a good amount of money. But like, Connor McDavid makes what, $12 million a year?
No idea.
Okay. Kendall Coyne should not be making that percentage of his salary for winning an Olympic gold medal and a world's championship. Like, are we out of our minds? What are we doing? And I do think you're right that they had a lot more bargaining power than they had. And I think they knew that. And it seemed to me reading the article that they were like, we could dog walk you. We are not going to, because me getting to play one more Olympics is more important. Yeah. I can't say that was the wrong decision because I'm not in their skates.
Also, Worlds is Wednesday. Like,
yeah. Why are we doing this a week before? Or maybe
Wednesday.
It just got broken a week before? Not clear. But regardless, like, it ran up on the deadline and like, I don't know. I guess I'm just worried about the kids who aren't going to retire after this cycle, who then now have to go back next year and be like, okay, I know that I'm not Kendall Coyne, but I think I should be paid actually $150,000. Yeah. Or like, maybe you should pay me $200,000 if I win a gold medal. Yeah. And they're going to be like, who do you think you are? Are you kidding? No, you said that 127 was fine. Maybe we'll give you 150. It upsets me.
Shout out to everyone at home, because one of the many reasons why women don't get paid as much as men is because we don't negotiate our contracts. We don't demand our worth. and we don't know how much other people are making. So if you're watching this at home, demand your friggin' worth and negotiate that friggin' contract.
It's scary. It's scary. It's supposed to be scary. Not supposed to be scary, but like if it's scary, it means that it's worth it. Like if you're worried about doing it, it's because it's important to you.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. That's not something that you should look at and be like, I'm not going to do it. If you get nervous about having that conversation, it's an important conversation to have, and you can have it, and you should have it.
Know your worth.
And even if there's a lot at risk, the reward is worth it.
Yeah.
For you and for the people who come after you.
Yep. And so not to move on from this topic.
Yeah.
But
no, it's okay. I need to finish because
we only have a couple hours until Worlds start.
Yeah.
Like
what? Like what?
So Wednesday the US is playing Russia in like a pre-tournament game. I don't know if it counts because there's one pre-tournament game. It's Wednesday against Russia, and then they play prelims Friday at 7, Sunday at 7, Tuesday at noon. So I don't know what the pre-tournament game is.
It's just like a warm-up. Yeah, I don't think it'll count. I mean, will it count emotionally? Yes. Will it count on the road to a gold medal? No.
How much blood do you think the Russian athletes have in their body that doesn't belong to them?
How did the blood get in their body?
From
That's not
probably
theirs.
the Russian Olympic Committee. Got him! Blood doping is not cool, you guys. Stop doing it.
I don't
Stop
feel qualified to answer that question.
USA is going to get their 7th gold medal in a row at Worlds. Come at me.
I would love for it to be more interesting than that, but I think that you're probably right, and that's what's going to happen.
Yes, I am. Speaking of interesting, though, there was some interesting shakeups. We had a Riv move to the Whale.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, I think we all sort of, maybe not all, but there were some rumblings that Moose was not going to come back to the Riveters. And it was the sort of thing where, like, she's been playing there forever, and if she was going to come back, she probably would have been one of the first people that you would have announced.
Yeah.
So, like, as soon as she wasn't, like, immediately back on, it was kind of like, okay, she gone. And I so badly wanted it to be Connecticut just because I feel like the regional rivalry is so good, and it would have been maybe like if she for some reason moved to Minnesota or something, I think that would have not been as fun.
Yeah.
No offense to Minnesota. I just think that it's fun that she's in Connecticut.
Yeah.
I think she's going to do great there.
For a Ribs v. Whale game.
I'm ready.
I cannot wait to see what Moose...
She's not the only one.
Watching Moose the whole time just because she's a big physical player, right? So, like, who's the first person she's going to check? Let's all, like, pay attention to that.
If it's not Madison Packer, I want a refund. I'm going to say that right now. Moose, if you're watching this, you know what to do. I'm just saying.
I have no comment on this situation.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't either, but you know what?
You know what?
That's not how I got here. So, she's also not the only one.
Yeah, it's true.
Kaylee Hutchison is with the Whale now, and I think that is a way bigger loss than anybody is
guessing. It's a whale of a loss.
Yeah, you might say that she was their Moby Dick. Except that there was no tragedy. Anyway.
Anyways.
I think the Whale are going to be good. I think the Riveters are going to miss those people, but I also think they've made some good signings, so those teams will have a lot of fun playing each other.
For sure. You know, one of the things that I'm most concerned about is, you know, we're talking about with Worlds, people are getting post-training meals. I'm really concerned that our hockey players are fed and happy because you need protein for your gains. So our commercial this time is actually more educational, would you say, Lenny?
Yeah, it's sort of like, you know, those TikTok videos where they teach you how to make a new meal. It's exactly like that, but we sort of had them expand a little bit because we felt like it was really important for you guys to get the full experience.
Yeah. So here you go. Here's some easy hockey cooking from a friend of ours. Enjoy. Hungry Hungry Hippos, the show that keeps your kids fighting. I mean playing. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 9 of Cooking for Your Hungry Hungry Hippos. On the last episode we showed you how to make chicken parm out of just 2 ingredients. I know. Here we're up for a no cook, no bake pasta. I don't know about you, but sometimes I have one too many in the COVID parking lot and I can't operate a stove. And when I get home my kids are like, Mom, where's dinner? So here's a quick and easy recipe that you don't need to use any form of heat or danger, and you just get meals on the table. What's my line? Oh, that's terrible. Ugh. So what you need for this recipe is 4 simple ingredients. You need pasta, and personally, just like my boy Tommy Wilson, I prefer elbows. Next, you're gonna want your pasta sauce, okay? I love ragu. You know if it comes in a plastic container, it's authentic Italian. And then you're gonna use your favorite cheese. Personally, I prefer American slices, but we are out, so we got a pizza blend. And lastly, you need your vegetables. So right here we got our chicken plus. It's chicken breasted, and it's vegetables in nuggets. And there's like 20 servings of vegetables in each nugget. I don't know how they pack it in. All right, so once you got that, you're gonna need a container. So what I do is you grab one of these gallon buckets. Now you gotta make sure you sanitize it first, okay? So what I use is a little bit of vino, but you don't wanna waste it, yeah? Slash it around and just leave it in there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our pasta, all right? And you're gonna dump it in the bucket. So then you're gonna take your ragu and you're gonna just dump it in. And this is where you can be creative. How much ragu do you want? Do you want a spaghetti sauce? Oh, watch out for someone got in my eye. Do you want a spaghetti sauce or you want a spaghetti soup? Is pasta soup or sandwich? I'm not sure. So then we're gonna add our cheese. We start with a little bit. I like to zest it at the end. And then you're gonna add your vegetables. So add your vegetables. That's very good, very good. And then we're gonna add more ragu because just love ragu. And once that's formed a nice paste, don't forget to wash it down with wine, you know? I'm all about low mess here at Hungry Hippos. So I can take a spoon and I can mix this up, but then I'm gonna get juice on my Tommy Wilson jersey and then I'm gonna have to yell, right? So what I'm gonna do here is you're gonna take a hockey puck. You wanna make sure you sanitize this with wine beforehand too. You're just gonna throw it in. Once it's in, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take it outside, you're gonna shake it, and that's gonna mix. Now here's the important part. Everyone pay attention. Pay attention. You're gonna leave it outside for at least 30 minutes. You gotta make sure it's in the sun. And that's gonna cook the pasta, it's gonna cook the vegetables, it's gonna cook everything, and it's gonna come to a nice gooey goodness. So we'll see you there. It is almost ready! Alright, so here we go. We got our no-cook pasta dish. I leave the hockey puck on one special kid, usually the one who gets the hattie. I leave it on for a garnish. This is a delicious, easy meal that will keep your kids going. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. Hungry Hippos. Bon appetit. We hope you enjoyed that segment. I know I did, looking for some good vegetarian options instead of those vegetarian chicken nuggets as well, but before we think too much on what just happened, let us move on to our guest. This is a locker room talk first. We have our first collegiate player. We have Alex Allan. She is a Boston University rising senior, appeared in every single game since arriving. Please welcome their star defender, Alex Allan. Alex, welcome to Locker Room Talk. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure. You are actually our first collegiate player we've had on the show. So,
oh wow.
Wow, first but best, maybe?
I don't know about that.
We'll find out in like 8 to 10 minutes. So you played 37 games your freshman year, 36 games your sophomore year, and then a pandemic hit. And you didn't, your season, your life, everything kind of changed a little bit. So when was the first time you really realized that like hockey was going to be different by this thing that was going on in the world?
I went home for spring break, as most people did, and brought a little duffel bag with some clothes for the weekend kind of thing, and found out that I wouldn't be returning back to school. So that was a little bit of a shift. I think I realized hockey would be a lot different once I started playing it again. Like, you never really think about it, like, yeah, you're going to have to wear masks and everything, but you never really think about it until you're in it and playing with a mask on or having to social distance on the ice, which is like the weirdest feeling in the world, right? So I think that summer before coming back to school was like really sort of my first feel of it. And I also live in Canada as well, so it was a bit more strict and there are a lot more regulations and rules. So it was just very like different to me.
How do you social distance on the ice? Like, what does that even mean?
No, like I didn't even know either. We we had to do drills, like we were being watched as well, so we had to do drills that were more like skills instead of like no one-on-ones, no battles, no, like it all had to be like individual sort of skills. So it was a little bit different, but
yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even think of that.
Wait, what happened to
it was really strange.
What happened to your stuff though? Did you get it? What happened to the non-duffel bag stuff?
Okay, so I usually like come home with my hockey gear, so thankfully I brought that.
Oh, good.
I really didn't bring any clothes though. I brought like it was kind of cold here too during like summer, like beginning of March. It's still rainy sort of, so I brought like sweaters, jeans. Like I didn't bring anything summery. I brought like 1-2 workout clothes, like that was it. I didn't end up getting my stuff. My boyfriend also came, so he grabbed some more things for me, but yeah, I never got my stuff from BU. So it was an excuse to go shopping at the end of the day, really. Like
yeah, that's true.
Wow. Okay, all right.
So what was your day-to-day like when you did come back and you started playing? We talked a little bit about the drills were different, but what is some stuff that was different about your experience getting to play again in this like kind of a new environment?
So we came back, and BU, I guess you guys probably know, BU was like more on the strict side with COVID, with testing, with small groups and stuff. So we came back, we had to quarantine for a week. With like, we got testing during, so you had to get 3 negative tests, which took about a week. Like you had to go every second or third day. Yeah. So you had to get 3 negative tests within a week for your like quarantine to be done. And then you could start working out. So like every time like anything happened, you ever left, I guess, the state or something, like technically you would have to quarantine again and do that 1 week thing. We begun with small groups. So it would be like people who live in the same dorm kind of thing, or like people who like are like together. Like my roommate and I, we lived in a double, so like it was just us 2 together at first for a little bit, and she's a goalie, so I felt bad because I was like killing myself and
throwing
she's getting
stuff
like
at
one shot here, and I'm like dying. Poor girl. But yeah, we just worked out in small groups. So it was like people, like we lived in Stuvie, which was like 1 dorm, and then the sophomores lived in 1 dorm together, so that's 6 of them, and then the freshmen all lived in 1 dorm together kind of thing. So the juniors and seniors got to work out together, but there was in split groups as well. So
I'm just imagining you sitting in your dorm just like launching random stuff at your goalie roommate, being like, training season starts
like
now.
We went on the ice. During the 1 week we like relaxed a little bit, but yeah, we went on the ice, and it was just like her and I out there, and I felt so bad for her because she's just standing there, and I'm like doing these drills, and then she gets 1 shot, and then I'm dying.
I bet she felt worse for you.
Well, it was worse for me, but like she was just standing there waiting, and like I'm getting
chilling.
bagged too, so my shots are like little flicks. And she's like,
give me a real shot. Which goalie?
Like, sorry.
Pardon me.
Which goalie was your roommate?
Nicole.
Oh, nice, awesome.
Yeah, so she's in my class. I felt bad for her.
I bet you guys became really good friends after that.
Yeah, we were definitely together a lot, for sure.
Yeah. So that's fun.
So the season started in December. Normally you guys started games usually like September, October. The season started in December. What was that like? Were there fans? Did you have to like no fist bumps? Like, what did the games feel like?
I mean, it was like a long like anticipation, so much build up to like the games, because usually we only practice for like a month, and then boom, we're into games. It's like fitness testing, couple practices. We do like a week of team practice because we're not allowed to before, and then boom, games. So it was just like a long preseason. So once the games actually came, it was super exciting. I mean, we didn't do any fist bumps at the end of the game. When we did the anthem, we had to have masks on. Like we had masks attached to our helmets, so we like would take those off and have like just like other disposable ones on. I'm trying to think of what else was different. I mean, like we had to get a COVID test by a certain time on like the Thursday or Wednesday if we played on a Friday kind of thing. I think there were like too many changes though. I mean, like you still go in there, just we had to wear a mask most of the time, you know?
Yeah. I still feel like that would be hard to get used to. Like I was boxing earlier this week and I wore a mask and I was like, wow, this sucks. I can't imagine doing this. Like like cardio do. Well, not the boxing's not cardio. But
yeah, we went through many trials and errors too, like of like how to wear a mask on the ice and like what's the best way to do it. Like at first we started with like wearing a Bauer mask, like that wasn't like attached to our helmets.
No.
So that super sucked because it was like going like you'd be breathing out of your mouth and it'd be like going in your mouth as you were breathing. So it was like yeah, so we ended up like finding like a mask that you could like Velcro onto your straps. I used to have a bubble. That didn't last very long because like with the mask covering up the holes in the bubble, you have like one little row to breathe and it was fogging up. It was just not working for me. So I just switched back to a cage so I could like put the mask on.
Cool. So I know you have some former teammates who have gone pro in various different ways. Some of them have gone abroad, some of them have played here. What is it like to be going into your senior year and graduating into this like pro hockey environment? I don't know if you have thought about going pro, but like even for your teammates who might be thinking about it, is it like something that gets talked about a lot, like decisions that people are going to make, or does it just kind of happen?
Well, I mean, it's grown a lot since I was a freshman to like being a senior now. Like the atmosphere, like just so much has changed about it. Like now it's like a real avenue that people think about. Before it was like, oh yeah, like girls can go pro too, like kind of here and there. Now there's like a draft, like people who are getting into it. It's like super cool. Even like going abroad, like that was more of a thing that was like I guess more popular for girls to do. It's not like super talked about though, because I feel like it sort of just happens. Like it's just sort of like you're in your senior year and then boom, you're in the draft and then you get picked and then it's like, oh, I can play hockey, you know what I mean? I don't know like too much about all of it. But yeah, it's really cool. I think it's such a cool thing, and especially that it's growing too. Like especially like Sammy Davis, she was drafted to go to like a team in Boston. Like I think it's so awesome.
Yeah, and Abby's gonna play there too this year, so that'll be fun to see them playing together again.
Yeah, that's so funny.
I'm excited to watch. I'm definitely gonna be at the games. So
yeah.
So speaking of going pro, you have a lot of exposure as a BU athlete right now. You're in one of the best programs. All the eyes are on you guys, and the NCAA recently switched up some of the rulings recently. So prior to July 1st, 2021, collegiate athletes couldn't make money off of their name, likeness, or anything like that. And now it's a little bit looser, so it's up to like the state or the college. What do you think about collegiate athletes making money off of themselves?
I think it's a super cool thing. And I mean, I'm personally not overly involved with it because I am Canadian and there's some rules and stuff that still even haven't been figured out. So I'm sort of standing back and just watching. But I think it's so cool. Like I've seen lots of people on different teams, like in BU, not in BU, like having some really cool deals. So I think it's really awesome that they can sort of like get themselves out there and make some money off of it or benefit off of it in some way.
For sure. And some of the arguments for it were it helps women and people of color more because it's the people who aren't going completely pro, who don't have the resources or the opportunity to go full pro in a league that like makes them a bunch of money. And so this is the only time you can make money off of your like who you are as a player. So I think those are some of like the major arguments for it. But yeah, I mean, why not? Why not?
I think it's cool, and I mean it's also like a networking thing too. Like you get to meet new people, you get to know other people and other brands. Like what if you are like sponsored by a brand and you decide you want to work in there? You have those connections. I think it's just something that is all around a positive thing as long as it's done in like a proper way, and then as long as the guidelines are being followed. I think it's super cool.
Alex Allan bobbleheads coming at you 2022.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
I just want them to be able to start selling jerseys with player names on them.
I know.
Like Marie-Philippe Poulin played at BU and like there's like 5 jerseys in existence with her name on it. That's crazy. That's crazy stuff. That's like I just can't wrap my mind around it at all. I still to this day.
I think made so much parents money. Would want it. Parents would want the jerseys too. Like my parents have been wanting
Your
one
whole
too.
family would have them.
Oh
Your whole family would have them.
Totally.
That's money in the bank, baby.
All right, so if you were to be, so this is obviously hypothetical, if you were to have one sponsor, you were going to be the spokesperson for one company, under these new rules, what would it be?
It can be as goofy as you want. It doesn't have to be like a hockey sponsor.
It wouldn't be a hockey sponsor. It'd be Aritzia or Mejuri's, a jewelry company. Aritzia is a clothing store that I'm obsessed with. Like, I buy all my clothes from there. It's like borderline annoying. People are like, "Oh, you look cute. Where are your clothes from?" Let me guess, Aritzia. Like every time. Like, like sorry guys. Do you guys know what that is? I feel like Americans don't know, but there's
Definitely
one in Boston.
not.
I know. I introduced it to all of my teammates. Like, oh my god, I love it now.
So at Aritzia on Twitter, please sponsor Alex Allan.
I will wear your clothes. Also,
I'll do anything.
Sponsor a hockey talk show too.
All
right,
we'll wear it.
We have 2 final questions. The first one is what we ask everyone on this show. So the name of our show is Locker Room Talk, and to some people that means one thing. In society, that means one thing. But to women hockey players, it means something kind of different. So in your mind, when you hear locker room talk, what does that make you think of?
I mean, there's like a very wide range, I guess. It could mean like associated to a game, I guess, like talking about like, hey, like you need to do this, or like we need to do less of that. What I would like automatically think of it as is like, oh my god, what did you do yesterday? Like you went here and did this with who, and like
you went to Aritzia again.
Yeah, no, like it's more about for me, it's more about catching up with, because I don't see my teammates all the time. Like some people do. Like I don't have classes with very many of my teammates, so it's kind of nice, like for me to catch up in the locker room before practice, after practice, like make plans to like hang out at dinner and stuff. So that's more of what it is for me.
Love it. Love it.
Love that.
And then Lenny, you've got our other.
Yeah. So the other thing that we do every episode is we will ask a question that is slightly controversial. We've had definitely some Twitter tweeting people. Mm-hmm. Very concerned about answers to this question. So once again, it is pre-recorded. If you say anything that you don't want to say, we will go back and take it out for you. It is a food-related question. So
I can do that.
We're going to ask food questions, and the stakes are very high. No pun intended. So first one, Tim Hortons or Duncan or Starbucks?
I mean, as a Canadian, I feel like I'm super obligated to say Tim Hortons. What do I go to more often? Starbucks.
Interesting.
I don't really like Duncan at all. You won't catch me there. I'm sorry. Like I just won't go.
Fair.
I'm not like a huge like coffee girl. Like I'm not like a coffee snob. I don't need to I'll grab a Starbucks on my way to class, like if it's convenient, but I don't need it. So
what is your Starbucks order when you go?
What is my Starbucks order? It depends on if it's winter or summer. I like a London fog at winter, like a little game day London fog.
Okay.
Or like a green tea. I'm not a coffee drinker.
Wow.
Always a winner.
Wow. I'm going to look up
I feel like if you're not a coffee drinker, it makes sense that you wouldn't like Dunkin', because Dunkin's that's their whole thing of coffee, so.
Exactly.
Final question. This comes from our producer, Michelle J. Canes or T. Anthony's?
Well, I only had Canes once in my whole life, but I'll say why. We have a Canes on campus. It's kind of like you always go by it, and just the grease smell that I always smell when I walk by it just turns me off so much. So I guess T. Anthony's would be my answer. I don't super love T. Anthony's either, though.
Wow.
So
that's
neither. Also controversial.
You've chosen neither.
Yeah. I don't think it's that controversial personally, but I didn't go to BU. My favorite over there is Sunset Cantina, which I think is much better than T. Anthony's.
Oh, Sunset's amazing.
Yeah. Sunset is amazing.
They have I
went there constantly in law school. Constantly.
I went there.
I wouldn't hate T. Anthony's or Cane's. If someone brought me food from there, I wouldn't not eat it. Right. But it's just not my first choice,
What's your favorite BU area restaurant then?
I loved Pavement Coffee House. I feel like that's a classic.
Interesting.
I don't really know. We only have we have Chipotle and I love Tate. That's not super close. Whole Foods is my favorite place in the world. Never been there before coming to school. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought about that. I guess you wouldn't. Yeah, there's one pretty like close.
We have one like apparently an hour away from where I live, but I just had never heard of it
That's
before.
so far though. That's like just
It's
far enough.
too far
that
for
you're like, I don't
groceries.
know.
Yeah, you know, I'm like, oh, I found
might do
it out
45
and then
minutes.
looked it up.
Well,
Yeah, I might do 45 minutes, but I wouldn't do an hour.
before
Yeah.
we get into like move on to Trader Joe's versus Safeway, we are out of time for this lovely segment. So, Alex, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Where can people find you, support you? Anything you wanna say? Any final closing remarks?
I mean, I'm on Instagram as everyone is, and like supporting me. I don't know about supporting me, but like supporting the team. We have like Instagram, and that sort of updates on like what we're doing,
Awesome.
what the team's like been up to. So yeah, definitely Instagram.
Awesome.
I will say this only for you because you came on the show. Go be you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Never happening again.
Wow. Good thing it's recorded, eh?
Yeah, really.
Go sports.
Go sports.
It's fun sports.
All right. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for joining us this week. We had a lovely time.
So good.
We, as always, want to know your hockey opinions, but also your food opinions.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a strong opinion about T. Anthony's or Cane's or Sunset Cantina, please let us know. We want to know.
Mm-hmm.
We also want to know how your day was.
I know.
And we want to know that you are liking and subscribing.
Yeah, we want that.
So if
I
you're
don't
doing
care what
that,
it is.
let us know.
I want to know how everyone feels about a BU Bostonian thinking that Dunkin' Donuts' coffee is trash.
That's not what she said. She said that she didn't really drink coffee.
Paraphrasing.
I mean, it hurts. It hurts. But you know what? She is Canadian. So
She is Canadian.
I'm not sure that it's fair to ask for much more of a positive opinion on Duncan, really. Like, that's putting her in a tough spot.
Has she ever had a regula?
What is a regula?
A regula is like, I think it's 2 sugars and 2 creams, or maybe 4 sugars and 4 creams. It's something disgusting that is a Providence favorite, but sometimes a Boston favorite too. So try it. Order it next time. I dare you. Put it on Twitter. I dare you.
I will.
Just ask for a regula. Like, just go up to the window and be like, I'll take a regula, and see what they say. You will.
I will do it. I will do it and report back.
Okay.
I'm scared, but I'll do it for you.
That is, that's it. That's a wrap. I have no further coffee opinions that I would like to share with the crowd.
I don't really believe that, but we'll get to it later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for joining us. As always, you can get me at Strong Forecheck. I will accept follow requests. I'm just not a public Twitter account at the moment. You can follow GamerDoc at GamerDoc. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an underscore
okay.
there, but you'll find it.
And follow us on Locker Room Talk X on Twitter and at the Ice Garden on YouTube. And you'll get to see more of us. We've got a couple more episodes before we're done. So.
Don't follow us in real life because that's illegal.
Yeah. Don't do that, please.
Bye.